Alrighty folks, in today's test we'll see the new ChatGPT o1 preview model from OpenAI being compared against ChatGPT 4o using 10 different prompts. In this test we'll see a custom GPT built with specific instructions to replicate some aspects of ChatGPT o1, like its use of chain of thought prompting. And don't worry guys, I'll explain everything in detail along with the exact prompt use. Then we'll see another comparison using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, configured with the same system prompt as the custom GPT. Now, basically this test aims to evaluate whether ChatGPT o1 can outperform both GPT-4o and the custom systems built for the test. Since, as we all know, previous tests involving IQ and math tests suggest that GPT-o1 had an advantage, it's safe to say a more scientifically structured test seeks to verify that. So we've already discussed this, so you probably already know, but the first test involves determining how many R's are in the word strawberry. GPT-o1 correctly identified 3 R's, and GPT-4o also produced the correct answer. Though past tests revealed inconsistencies in letter counting tasks because LLMs do not perceive letters as we do, but as tokens, and these tokens can be perceived by AIs as a set of words and syllables, not always as individual letters. So, for example, if we tell ChatGPT 4o to count how many letters there are in the word strawberry, it might split the word and perceive it as straw, and then wibber, and, well, so on. And as you can hear from me sounding it out, this could result in an incorrect calculation. Anyway, folks, the custom GPT and the Claude project are also being tested using the same instructions. These instructions guide the AI through chain of thought prompting, breaking down the reasoning process step by step to arrive at a final solution. Simply put, both the GPT-o1 clone and the Claude project are set up to break down every single reasoning process that they make. Alright folks, here's how the next test went. Both models, GPT clone and Claude, provided more comprehensive answers thanks to the system prompt, and they all correctly identified that there are 3 R's in strawberry. So this test was a pass for everyone involved. Moving on to the next question. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Scientifically, the egg came first, and the logic behind this is that the first true chicken evolved from a mutation in an egg laid by another bird species. Now, both ChatGPT 4o and Custom GPT gave the same answer, with the Custom GPT providing a more in-depth explanation, and Claude also concluded that the egg came first and mentioned it was laid by a close ancestor of the modern chicken. Then, the next question was, which number is bigger, 9.11 or 9.9? This has historically been a tricky problem for language models. GPT-4o responded with the correct answer, 9.9 is greater than 9.11. Both models got it right, though GPT-4o was a bit faster, taking only 2 seconds compared to 19 for o1 preview. As for the custom GPT and Claude, both correctly identified that 9.9 is the larger number, so it's another pass for all 4 models. Next up, a more complex question. A marble is placed in a glass cup. The glass is turned upside down and set on a table. Then the glass is picked up and put in a microwave. Where is the marble? The conclusion from GPT-o1 was spot on. The marble is left on the table where the inverted glass was initially placed. Meanwhile, GPT-4o incorrectly suggested that the marble was in the microwave at the base of the glass. So in this round, the o1 model definitely scored a point over GPT-4o. Now folks, let's see the next set of results. Claude provided the correct response, stating that the marble is most likely on the table. However, the custom GPT didn't quite deliver a clear answer because it suggested the marble was inside the glass cup without specifying whether it was on the table or in the microwave, and after a quick follow-up, it still didn't provide the precise location, ultimately stating that the marble was in the microwave, just like GPT-4o. So, no improvement here, folks. On the other hand, Claude got it right, both in the custom project and the regular chat. Meanwhile, both GPT-4o and the custom GPT missed the mark, while GPT-o1 nailed it. Next up, a word count test, and we're not talking about how many R's there are in the word strawberry. So, how many words are in your response to this prompt? And this task is notoriously difficult for these models. As it turned out, GPT-01 gave the correct count, while GPT-4o slightly missed, counting numbers as words. When tested with the custom GPT, it didn't perform as well because it seems like its chain of thought prompting process added unnecessary steps and made word counting tricky. Claude had a similar issue due to its step-by-step reasoning, but overall, GPT-01 emerged as the most accurate for this type of task. Now folks, hallucination tests. The prompt asked for descriptions of several mango cultivars, including one that doesn't exist, basically to see if the models would hallucinate information. GPT-01 handled it well, admitting it didn't have information on the made-up cultivar due to its knowledge cutoff. An accurate response, but on the other hand, GPT-4o hallucinated and made up details about a lemon cream mango. Yeah, sure, why not? Claude handled it better though, showing uncertainty but still leaning towards a slight hallucination. And the GPT clone also made up information, so GPT-01 performed the best in this test, while Claude wasn't far behind. Lastly, a logic puzzle. There are 3 killers in the room. Someone enters and kills one. How many killers are left? All models gave the correct answer. There are still 3 killers, accounting for the 2 original and the new one. GPT-4o, GPT-01, the custom GPT, and Claude all got this right. So no clear winner in this case, folks. Although it's a little encouraging to know that AI can spot a killer, right? Now guys, let's talk about coding tests. And get this, because it's pretty incredible. So the prompt was to write a game of chess in Python. A test that's been done before in previous experiments, and starting with GPT-4o, it produced a much simpler version of the game than expected. Pretty basic, and unfortunately it didn't allow for dragging and dropping pieces because it required manual input for movements, which is a little frustrating since there were no board markings, and I guess that not exactly all people know every position on the board by heart, so this resulted in a total fail for GPT-4o. Though it's important to note that this was done with just one prompt to keep the test fair without refining the response. Moving on to GPT-01, folks, the output was much more promising, and it also provided a link to download chess piece PNGs, and after integrating them with the game logic, worked quite smoothly, and most of the game's functionality seemed intact. However, there were still a few issues with in-game logic, like not recognizing check. But overall, I guess this version of the game seems around 80% complete. And the chat even included a note mentioning missing features such as castling and endgame logic, suggesting a follow-up prompt could potentially resolve those gaps. So, in summary folks, this is an impressive result because it's much more advanced than any output previously achieved from a large language model. Then Claude 3.5 Sonnet was tested with a regular chat, and unfortunately, since Claude doesn't have web access, it couldn't provide the chess piece PNGs, and this of course resulted in a game where the pieces didn't look like actual chess pieces, but the game logic started off well. However, it did crash when trying to take pieces, making the test less successful compared to GPT-01, and even after relaunching the game, this issue persisted. And pretty much, this confirms that Claude wasn't able to match the performance of GPT-01 in this particular task. I think it's safe to say, guys, I think Claude has lost the throne of coding king, at least for now. Taking everything into account, folks, GPT-4o and the custom GPT fell short in this test, while Claude kept up decently but failed the coding challenge, so GPT-01 is the clear winner here. And it shows the most progress, especially in coding tests, and especially if we consider that it's still the preview version. Pretty interesting stuff, guys. Let me know in the comments if you've already tried ChatGPT-01 and what you think of it. Hey, hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and as always, see you in the next one, folks. You all take care.